Hey guys, I'm sure you're all aware that I have not uploaded to this channel in a while. Now, maybe 2 weeks isn't a long time, but I guess compared to my previous upload schedule, it kind of is, so I'm sure everyone's wondering, like, where I went. So, that is what this video is going to be about. This is the story of my YouTube growth and how I felt during the process of my channel growing. So this story begins with the first video I made that really blew up, and that was answering questions I get as a helper on Hypixel. At the time of posting that video, I knew for sure that that video was going to become the most viewed video on my channel. So fast forward to about a month later, answering questions I get as helper on Hypixel had become the most viewed video on my channel, and I had new confidence that maybe my channel would start to get more views than it was currently getting. So at this point it was May and the school year was winding down, so I actually had a lot more time to dedicate to YouTube. It was my last week of senior year. I was graduating high school. I was saying goodbye to all of my classes for the last time. I was saying goodbye to all of my friends for the last time, and pretty much I knew I wasn't going to see anyone again, and that week I felt really sad, and it was hard to escape from that sadness. So what I decided to do was just focus everything into YouTube. Just make videos and just try to upload every day. And the reason I did that was because I knew that editing videos was a good distraction from the sadness I was feeling at the time. And that's really one of the main reasons I've made a lot of the videos on this channel, because not even like video games is like enough to distract me sometimes. Sometimes if I need to distract myself from something, editing a video is the only thing that I can really like fully immerse myself in and just not get distracted. So in fact, that week is the week I made my current most viewed video, Top 5 Worst Situations I've Faced as a Helper on Hypixel. You can tell from the title that I'm trying to get views. However, the main root purpose behind making that video was just to distract myself. And if I'd known at the time of making it that that video was going to reach almost 1 million views, I don't know if I would have even uploaded it. So keep in mind that at the time of making this video, I had less than 200 subscribers. So my definition at that time of a lot of views is completely different from my current definition of a lot of views. I thought that I would be really proud of myself if it got to 1,000 views. So I remember one night I checked my subscriber count before I went to bed. I had just hit 200. I was actually really excited about 200 subscribers, really proud of myself. So I put my phone down and went to sleep, and then I woke up and just because I was bored, I decided to check my subscriber count again, and I saw that it had grown just overnight from 200 to 250. And I actually gasped, and I even dropped my phone, like, what? And maybe that's not that much, but for a channel of my size, like, whoa, okay, what did I just do? What is going on right now? Did someone give me a shout out? I started looking around. I thought someone had just like given me a shout out or something. And actually, no, like no one gave me a shout out. Like it was just YouTube recommending it to people. The next day, I checked my subscriber count again and I was already at 400. So the growth was just going crazy at that point. I don't even know why or how, but eventually I woke up one morning, I checked my subscriber count again. This is like the third day in a row that I was checking it. And I saw that overnight I'd gone from like 800 to 1,000. I couldn't believe it. And I thought that I should feel happy for achieving 1,000 subscribers, but I realized that I didn't feel happy. I was looking at it and I actually felt I actually felt sick. And I know that doesn't make sense, but I was looking at the views and stuff, and I was looking at comments, and it was actually super overwhelming and not what I was expecting at all. Like, I looked at the view count, like 2,000 views, like 5,000 views, or something like that. Like, that's also 5,000 people who have heard me talk, who have watched my editing. They've basically 5,000 people judging me. And I did not like that at all. I was pretty much just making videos because I was bored, because I liked editing, and I wasn't really doing it with the primary intention of becoming famous or having a successful channel. That's not what I was really trying to do. I just had stories and I wanted to tell them to the people who watched, which was basically just my friends at the time. But now random people were watching and random people were seeing me as a YouTuber. But anyway, that day I was feeling pretty sick, but I still decided to go down and check Discord. So I'd previously made a Discord server just for one live stream that I was doing, and I thought I was just gonna delete it afterwards, but I didn't. And a bunch of people started joining it because I left the link in one of my videos. I saw that the admins I'd hired were fighting and they were disagreeing, and I had no idea what to do because I wasn't even trying to host a Discord server, but people were coming to me as like the owner of this huge Discord server, which had just blown up overnight, and I didn't know what I was doing. So that day I went to my friend's house, and while I was there, I spent a crazy amount of time just on my phone refreshing my YouTube channel. I got home from my friend's house at about 1 a.m., and I knew that I should probably go to bed because I needed to be somewhere at 9 a.m. the next morning. But I decided that I should check Discord because since I wasn't going to be available the next day, I should probably check it and try to get up to date um, and not miss anything important. So I went to Discord and I saw that I had 200 notifications. Like, oh no, this is going to take a while. So, first I go to the direct messages. I tried to respond to all of them the best that I could. So, I responded to all of those. Then I went to the actual channel. And there was actually a questions for Lionhead channel. And basically, people were just asking staff questions or YouTube questions or just any random joke questions in that channel, and everyone was kind of expecting me to answer it. So what I did is I took all the questions that were there at the time, I copy pasted them over to a separate document, and I just started answering them. And at this point, it was like 3:30 a.m., but I was like not tired at all, and I just needed to finish those questions. Like I didn't even care that I was gonna wake up and like be super tired because I was just answering all these random Discord questions. So I was getting down to the end of the list, and I'd answered like 40 questions. There were still like 10 or 15 more that I needed to answer when finally, like, my mom wakes up and sees that I'm still on the computer, and she tells me to go to bed. And I was really focused on what I was doing, and I was kind of angry at the time and just feeling really overwhelmed and stressed. So I responded really angrily and I just said, no, I'm not going to bed. So she kept telling me to go to bed, and I just refused to go to bed because I just felt like I needed to answer these questions. Like, this is my obligation. Like, I am obligated to answer these questions. I have to do this no matter what. At this point, it was like 4:30. So finally, like, my dad woke up too, and basically they both started talking to me, and I was just in a horrible mood. My mom was just like concerned about me like spending all of this time on this growing YouTube channel because I had been talking to them in the past about like how my YouTube channel was growing, and basically my mom was just concerned that I was spending too much time on this YouTube stuff, and I was just like ignoring everything else, and that was completely true. That's exactly what I was doing. But I was really angry, so I responded kind of like, oh, well, you can't tell me what to do, like I'm gonna do whatever I want. That's not even what I meant to say, but that's what I said. um, so mid sentence, like, I got cut off by my dad. He actually just like, there was a glass sitting on the table, and he just kind of took it and just slammed it down really hard, and was just like staring at me with this super angry look. I didn't even like, I was so surprised. Like, he never gets that mad, but I guess I just kind of, I'd been really angry. I guess I kind of deserved it. So he was just really mad at me. He just says like, I'm sick of this. Go to bed now. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to bed. So I went to bed and I barely even slept that night, and I had to wake up super early the next morning. It was awful, and that was just a horrible, horrible day. So a few days later, I hit 2,000 subscribers, and I decided that I really needed to publish some sort of thank you video just to acknowledge that I'd grown so much. But the thing was, while I was super grateful, I was also really overwhelmed and stressed, and I didn't really know how to convey both emotions simultaneously in the video. So what I decided to do is just make two videos and just intercut them together, and I just wrote the script to make it so I was basically cutting myself off and just switching from negative to positive. So if you watch that video and you were confused, well, so was I. I was trying to express that to you guys in that video. I was trying to express both ideas simultaneously because, in all honesty, I didn't know how I really felt about this whole YouTube thing. So the next day, I was looking at my channel on my phone, and in the video I had just made, I had said I hadn't seen any negative comments at all, but in fact, that day I started to see a lot of negative comments. Um, and at that point, I really just wasn't ready to see that because just a week ago I had less than 200 subscribers. Basically, I just really didn't like the idea of people just seeing my content and like getting their first impression of me from that and judging me and what I was saying and the fact that I play Minecraft and basically just taking my video and like giving their feedback on it. I was feeling very, very, very overwhelmed, and all these people kept coming to me saying like, "Congratulations, good job, you've hit 10K, 11K, 12K," like the same day, just reaching all of those milestones. Like, what? That's not supposed to happen. And part of me felt really proud of myself for doing that, but all of these people just expected me to be super happy, and I kept getting these congratulation messages, and I didn't really know how to respond to them. So basically, all I could say to them was thank you, but I couldn't say how I really felt, and I couldn't say that really this whole YouTube thing was taking such a huge toll on my life. It had like just come in and interrupted everything, and I felt like I was in such a bad place at that point compared to where I was before the YouTube growth happened. And finally, I started talking to some of my friends about it, and they gave me some pretty good advice. So at that point, I decided to just ignore YouTube for a while, just turn my phone off. Like, I don't have to look at my Lionhead channel, I can just focus on other things. But the thing was, I couldn't just focus on other things because all I could think about was YouTube, and all I could feel was just this overwhelming sense of pressure from all of these people coming in. They're all expecting me to upload, and at that point, I was not in a place to upload at all because I was just feeling so awful. And I knew that I could just make a video about how I felt, but I also wasn't sure if how I felt was how I really felt, because this might just be temporary, and maybe in a few weeks I'd just be happy about it again and I'd forget about all of this. So even though I was feeling really sad at that point and just really, really awful, I knew that eventually I could recover from it because I had been through much worse than this in the past. Going through those types of situations could help me improve myself because now I knew how to get out of it, so I could get out of a similar situation in the future. So I knew that it was only a matter of time before I would be feeling better and I would be able to make more videos. It was just at that time I was not in a place to make videos at all. So finally, my growth rate began to decline, and instead of getting 3,000 subscribers a day, I was getting 1,000, and then finally it started going down to 500, and now I think it's probably at like 200 or something. And while part of me felt really sad about that, mostly I was pretty happy because I knew that if my channel stopped growing, that would give me some time to process what had just happened and try to figure out where to go from there. But at the same time, there was still part of me that didn't want to be a YouTuber. I kind of felt like this whole thing had just been thrust at me without me asking for it, and that I'd always had an issue with public speaking, and the amount of views that I was getting kind of made me feel anxiety because I felt like if I tried to record another video that people were just judging everything that I said, and essentially while I was recording stuff I was talking to this huge crowd of people, and the only difference between it and public speaking was that the crowd of people was going to see the video all at different times. So I kind of started to think to myself that I wasn't the type of person to talk to that many people at the same time. I wasn't a public speaker. I'm not good at even having a large group conversation. But I thought back to why I had applied for helper and how I didn't feel like I was capable of being a helper at the time, but I decided that while I wasn't really the type of person to drop everything they're doing just to help someone, I could be that type of person if I really wanted to be. So I think the same thing can apply for YouTube. While I wasn't really the type of person to want to talk to a huge audience of people at the same time and be a YouTuber, I could be that type of person if I really wanted to be. So I decided to continue doing what I had been doing the whole time and what got me these views in the first place. So here I am now. I'm back from my little 2-week vacation where I had to think of all this stuff, and I feel like I am ready to continue making videos. However, if I don't feel like making a video, I'm not going to force myself to do it, and I'm not going to let YouTube come in front of the rest of my life and my family life and my social life, because ultimately those things are more important. So I guess if you're still watching at this point, thank you so much for watching the video. I wanted to say that I'm going to continue doing story videos, and I'll probably do real life story videos, and I'll also do more Q&A stuff, and basically try to continue doing the same thing that I've been doing in the past. But at the same time, I kind of want to diversify and just try new styles, because that's what the point of this channel was to begin with, just trying different things. Like, why is there montages and building time lapses and all number of other type of videos on this channel? I don't know. It's just because I was experimenting and I wanted to try new ideas just to see if I could do them. So I'm going to keep doing that, but I'm also going to keep telling stories and keep doing what I have been doing. So anyway, thank you for watching the video, and don't forget, follow your dreams.